Hi, my name is Tulay Al-Kurdi. I'm in 4th grade and I'm in Franciscan Sisters School in Jordan. Today I'm going to tell you how plants reproduce.
Let's go! So for plants to reproduce, they go through 3 phases. First is pollination. So what is pollination? For flowering plants to reproduce, pollen grains must be transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower or another flower. This process is called pollination. Let's see how it works. Pollen is a fine powder made up of small pollen grains. As you can see in the picture, it can be carried by wind or animals such as insects, birds, and bats, from the anther of a flower to the stigma of the same or different flower. Some flowers, like grass, are pollinated by wind. Let's watch this video to learn
more. You may not think that this is a flower though, because it doesn't have brightly colored petals and a strong fragrance and so on. However, grasses are true flowering plants. Flowers like these have beautiful conspicuous flowers, mainly to attract the insects or other animals that pollinate them. They use a lot of precious resources to produce bright petals, smells, nectar, and so on. Grasses have a different strategy. They transport their pollen from plant to plant on our nearly constant summer breezes. Grasses, which are indeed flowers, learned thousands of years ago to use one of Wyoming's cheapest and most abundant energy sources, the wind, to propagate themselves.
So one way for flowers to get pollinated is wind. The other is by insects. Butterflies, bees, and other insects visit flowers to get pollen or nectar to feed themselves or their young. The pollen may stick to their body, and when they brush against the anther, the pollen on their bodies may then land on the stigma of the same flower or another. Now let's talk about fertilization. Fertilization is the second phase. It is the fusion of the male reproductive cell with the female reproductive cell or egg to form a fertilized egg. The reproductive parts of the plant are stigma, pollen tube, style, ovary, ovule. Third and last is the seed production. When petals and the stamen of the flower starts to wither, they will fall off. The ovary develops into a fruit, while the ovules inside the ovary develop into seeds. A fully developed fruit with the seed is formed. The fruit ripens. Let me show a quick example of a fruit we all love eating. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.